Should the minimum voting age be lowered? University president apologizes, quits after inviting Pence to speak at graduation. As a campaign strategist might put it, the optics aren't good. 6 weeks after stirring up a controversy over Vice President Mike Pence speaking at a commencement ceremony, Paul Haynes, the president of Indiana's Taylor University, has stepped down, effective August 15. And even if the school maintains there's no connection between the two developments, the possibility is disquieting. In his resignation, according to a news release on the Taylor University website, Haynes said only that he and his wife leave with a strong sense of accomplishment, knowing that remarkable progress has been made over the last 3 years, but also a clear awareness of God's new purpose and direction for our lives. To that, all anyone on the outside can say is good luck and God bless. But there's still at least the appearance that something more is afoot. As a small, evangelical school of about 2,000 students in central Indiana, Taylor isn't the kind of place that normally generates national headlines. But when a few dozen disgruntled faculty members and students saw fit to walk out of Taylor's May 16 commencement ceremony before Pence began his address, the editors of USA Today saw fit to bring it to the country's attention. Even before that, The Washington Post published a column by Amy Peterson, an adjunct faculty member, complaining that Pence's selection for the commencement ceremony doesn't build bridges. Instead, it ratchets up the already high level of division and distrust on campus. And before that, the school's faculty voted 61-49 against the invitation, according to Christianity Today. Before he became President Donald Trump's number 2, Pence was the governor of Indiana who had served in the United States House of Representatives from 2001 to 13. He's also well known as an evangelical Christian, the kind of faith Taylor is built on. In short, Mike Pence is an accomplished, reputable and successful man with an impeccable reputation and is pretty much what any campus composed of decent human beings should be looking for in a commencement speaker. A campus composed of liberals blinded by partisan rage, of course, would be a different story. The fact that there was any sort of a controversy in the first place is absurd. Academics are an infamously liberal bunch, and that apparently goes for evangelical academics in certain places, too. The fact that a walkout by dozens of students and faculty at a small Midwestern college made national news is ridiculous. And the fact that the college president who invited Pence is leaving his post now, so close in time to the controversy, is unfortunate. For the sake of Taylor, Haynes himself and even the civic good of the country, let's hope those events really are unrelated.